Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta. So, Manjalila, chapter 19, text 179. The Lord instructs Srila Rupa Goswami. The gradual development of praying may be compared to different states of sugar. First, there is the seed of the sugar cane, then sugar cane, and then the juice extracted from the cane. When this juice is boiled, it forms liquid molasses, then solid molasses, then sugar, candy, rock candy, and finally, rice. All these stages combined are called Sthayi-bhava, or continuous love of God in devotional service. In addition to these stages, there are Vibhav and Anubhav, purport. Attachment for Krishna never wanes. It increases more and more as one attains different stages. All the stages together are called Sthayi-bhava, or continuous existence of ecstasy. The 9 forms of devotional service are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanam, Vedanam. When continuous love of Godhead is mixed with the process of devotional service, it is called Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvic, and Vaibhicharya. The devotee thus enjoys variety of transcendental bliss. In his Amrita Pravaha Bhasya, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that Anubhav can be divided into 13 categories: dancing, rolling on the ground, singing, yelling, jumping, making loud noises, yawning, heavy breathing, not caring for public opinion, discharging saliva, roaring laughter, unsteadiness, and hiccuping. These are the symptoms of Anubhav. Thus, the transcendental mellows are experienced in different stages. Similarly, there are many other forms of expression that have been analytically studied by the Goswamis. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami gives each and every symptom a particular name. When the higher standard of ecstatic love is mixed with the symptoms of sattvic and vyabhichari, the devotee relishes the transcendental bliss of loving Krishna in a variety of nectarian tastes. These tastes are like a combination of yogurt, sugar candy, ghee, clarified butter, black pepper, and camphor, and are as palatable as sweet nectar. According to the devotee, attachment falls within the 5 categories of Shantarati, Dasyarati, Satyarati, Vatsalyarati, and Madhuryarati. These 5 categories arise from devotees' different attachments to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The transcendental mellows derived from devotional service are also of 5 varieties. Purport. Santarati is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as follows. When one is completely free from all doubts and material attachments, he attains the neutral position called Shanta. The Shantarati realization of Krishna is in the neutral stage between the conception of impersonalism and personalism. This means that one is not very strongly attached to the personal feature of the Lord. An appreciation of the greatness of the Lord is called Shantarati. This is attachment not to the personal feature, but to the impersonal feature. Generally, one in this stage is attached to the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara sarvabhutanam vidashejuna tishtati, Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudrani maya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. 1861. On the strength of this statement from Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that in Santaras, a devotee sees the Lord's representation everywhere. Dasharati is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When the Supreme Lord in its localized aspect is appreciated, and a great devotee understands his subordinate position, not only does he surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but due to his subordinate position, he wishes to render some service and thus become favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee in Chantarati is not very much willing to render service to the Lord, but a devotee in Dasyarati voluntarily wants to render service. Due to this attitude, the devotee in Dasyarati realizes the Supreme Personality of Godhead more fully than a devotee in Shantarasi. He considers the Lord to be worshipable object. And this means that his attachment for the Lord increases. Thus, Dasyarati is characterized as Bhakti Parishanu Bhavu Viraktir Anyantra Cha from the 11th canto. In other words, on the Dasyarati platform, a devotee is attached to rendering service to the Lord, and he is detached from material activities. Chantarati is neither material nor spiritual, but Dasyarati is actually on the spiritual platform. There is no attachment for material things on the spiritual platform. Viraktir and Chaitanya. A devotee in Dasyarati has no attachment for anything but Krishna's service. Sakyarati is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as follows. According to the opinion of advanced devotees and learned scholars, a devotee in Sakyarati feels equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a relationship in friendship. Due to having a friendly relationship with the Lord, not only is one free from material attachment, but one believes in equal dealings with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called Sakyarati. The Sakyarati devotee is so advanced that he treats the Lord on an equal level and even exchanges joking words with him. Although one is never equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Sakyarati devotee feels equal to the Lord, and he does not feel guilty because of this. Usually, it is offensive to consider oneself equal to the Lord. The Mayavadis, for example, consider themselves equal to the Lord, but such feelings entail bereavement because they are material. Sakyarati, however, is a feeling experienced in the mind by a pure devotee, and he is eternally related with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in that feeling. Vatsalyarati is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When a living entity is situated on the platform of Vatsalyarati, he thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his childhood feature. In this feature, the Lord has to be protected by the devotee, and at this time, the devotee takes the position of being worshipped by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These feelings of parental love are called Vatsalyarati. When the devotee is situated on this platform, he wants to maintain the Lord like a son, and he desires all good fortune for the Lord. He offers blessings to the Lord by touching his feet and head. Madhuryarati, or attachment in conjugal love, is described as follows. The conjugal relationship experienced between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the young damsels of Brajabhumi continuously exists in 8 kinds of remembrances. This intimate relationship, brought about by conjugal love, produces movements of the eyebrows, glancing, sweet words, and exchanges of joking words. The chief transcendental mellows experienced with the Supreme Personality of Godhead are 5: Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Besides the 5 direct mellows, there are 7 indirect mellows, known as laughter, wonder, chivalry, compassion, anger, disaster, and fear. This verse is found in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In addition to the 5 direct mellows, There are 7 indirect mellows, known as laughter, wonder, chivalry, compassion, anger, disaster, and fear. When Shantarati, or neutral attraction, exists continuously and is mixed with ecstatic emotion, and when the devotee relishes that neutral position, it is called Shanta Bhakti Ras. Shanta Bhakti Ras devotees generally relish the impersonal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since their taste of transcendental bliss is incomplete, it is called agana, or not concentrated. A comparison is made between ordinary milk and concentrated milk. When the same devotee goes beyond the impersonal and tastes the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his original form as Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, his transcendental blissful body complete in knowledge and eternity, the taste is called concentrated, or jnana, transcendental bliss. Sometimes the devotees in Shantaras relish transcendental bliss after meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But this is not comparable to the transcendental bliss relished by the devotees situated in Dasyaras, the transcendental mellow in which one renders service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dasyaras, or Dasya Bhakti Ras, is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But according to his desires, the living entity develops love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This beginning stage of love is called Dasya Bhakti Ras. Dasya Bhakti Ras is divided into 2 categories called Sambrahma Dasya and Gaurava Dasya. In Sambrahma Dasya, the devotee renders respectful service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in the more advanced Gaurava Dasya, his service takes the form of giving protection to the Lord. Sakya Bhakti Ras is described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. According to one's original consciousness, ecstatic emotions may be exhibited as continuously existing in fraternity. When this stage of Krishna consciousness is mature, it is called Preyoras, or Sakya Bhakti Ras. Vatsalya Bhakti Ras is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as follows. When eternally existing love of Godhead transforms into parental love and is mixed with corresponding emotions, that stage of spiritual existence is described by learned devotees as Vatsalya Bhakti Ras. Madhurya Bhakti Ras is described as follows. If, in accordance with one's own natural development in Krishna consciousness, one's attraction leans toward conjugal love within the heart, that is called attachment in conjugal love, or Madhurya Ras. Similarly, Hasya, Adbhuta, Vira, Karuna, Rodra, Bhaya, and Vivatsa, the 7 indirect mellows, are explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The Hasya Bhakti Ras, or laughing devotion, is explained as follows. When, through devotional service, a laughing attachment to Krishna is developed, it is called Hasya Bhakti Ras by learned scholars. Similarly, Adbhuta Ras is described as follows. When one's general attachment is fixed in wonder, it is called Adbhuta Bhakti Ras. When attachment to Krishna mixes with the bellicose tendency, the charitable tendency, or the merciful tendency in the heart of the devotee, such devotion is called Vira Bhakti Ras. Karuna Bhakti Ras is described as follows. When one's devotional attitude and attachment for Krishna is mixed with lamentation, it is called Karuna Bhakti Ras. Similarly, Rodra Bhakti Ras is described when one's devotion is mixed with anger in the heart of the devotee. The taste is called Rudra Bhakti Ras. When devotion is mixed with fear, it is called Vayanaka Bhakti Ras. When one's attachment for Krishna develops in an abominable way and the devotee enjoys it, that is called Vivatsa Bhakti Ras. In conclusion, when a pure devotee is situated in any of the 5 principal mellows, Santa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya, And that mellow is mixed with one or more of the 7 indirect bhakti rasas, hasya, adhuta, vira, karuna, rodra, vayanaka, or vivatsa. The indirect mellows become prominent. The 5 direct transcendental mellows of devotional service are permanently situated in the heart of the devotee, whereas the 7 indirect emotions appear suddenly under certain conditions and appear more powerful. Examples of Santa Bhaktas are the 9 Yogendras and the 4 Kumaras. Examples of devotees in Dasya Bhakti are innumerable, for such devotees exist everywhere. Purport. The 9 Yogendras are Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, Praduba, Papalayana, Avirhotra, Dravida, Dramila, Tamasa, and Karabanjana. The 4 Kumaras are Sanaka, Sunandana, Sanatkumar, and Sanatana. The servant devotees in Gokul are Raktaka, Chitraka, Patraka, and so on. In Dwarka, there are servants like Daruka, and in the Lord's pastimes in the material world, there are servants like Hanuman. In Vrindavan, examples of devotees in fraternity are Sridham and Sudama. In Dwarka, the Lord's friends are Bhima and Arjuna. In Vrindavan, the devotees in parental love are Mother Yashoda and Father Nanda Maharaj. And in Dwarka, the Lord's parents are Vasudeva and Devaki. There are also other superior persons who are devotees in parental love. The chief devotees in conjugal love are the gopis in Vrindavan, the queens in Dwarka, and the goddesses of fortune in Vaikuntha. These devotees are innumerable. The goddesses of fortune are in conjugal love. Attachment for Krishna is divided into 2 categories. One is attachment with awe and reverence, and the other is pure attachment without reverence. Pure attachment without reverence is found in Gokul Vrindavan. Attachment in which awe and reverence are prominent is found in the 2 cities, Mathura and Dwarka, and in Vaikuntha. When opulence is very prominent, love of Godhead is somewhat crippled. According to Kevala devotion, however, even though the devotee sees the unlimited potency of Krishna, he considers himself equal to him. On the transcendental platform of neutrality and service, sometimes the opulence of the Lord is prominent. But in the transcendental mellows of fraternal, parental, and conjugal love, the opulence is minimized. When Krishna offered prayers at the lotus feet of his mother and father, Vasudeva and Devaki, they both felt awe, reverence, and fear due to knowledge of his opulences. When Devaki and Vasudeva understood that their 2 sons, Krishna and Balaram, who had paid obeisances to them, were the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they became fearful and did not embrace them. Purport. This verse, quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, describes what happened just after the killing of Kamsa by Krishna and Balaram. Vasudeva and Devaki saw their son kill the powerful demon Kamsa, and after this they were immediately released from their shackles. Balaram and Krishna then offered respects to Devaki and Vasudeva. Both the father and the mother wanted to embrace their sons, but they understood that Krishna and Balaram were the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they therefore hesitated to embrace them. Their parental love for Krishna and Balaram was therefore hampered and decreased by awe and reverence. When Krishna manifested his universal form, Arjuna became reverent and fearful. He begged forgiveness for his past impudence toward Krishna as a friend. Thinking of you as my friend, I've rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone, and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. This is a quotation from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, 41 to 42. In this verse, Arjuna is addressing Krishna, who was exhibiting his universal form on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Although Krishna was joking with Queen Rukmini, she was thinking that he was going to give up her company, and she was therefore shocked. While Krishna was joking with Rukmini in Dwarka, she was full of distress, fear, and lamentation. She had also lost her intelligence. She dropped her hand bangles and the fan she was using to fan the Lord. Her hair became disarrayed, and she fainted, and fell suddenly, appearing like a banana tree knocked down by high winds. Purport. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto refers to Krishna speaking to Rukmini in his bedroom. Just to test her sincerity, he began to joke with her, presenting himself as a poor, incapable, and unfit to be her lover. Not understanding that he was joking, Rukmini took him seriously and thought that he wanted to leave her company. This misunderstanding made her very unhappy, and her whole body was affected. Her fan and bangles fell to the floor, and she also fell down like a banana tree knocked down by high winds. In the stage of Kevala, unalloyed devotion, a devotee does not consider the unlimited opulences of Krishna. Even though he experiences it, he takes seriously only his own relationship with Krishna. Purport. When a devotee reaches the stage of pure, unalloyed devotion, especially in friendship with Krishna, he forgets the Lord's opulences. Although he sees them, he considers himself equal to Krishna. There is no question of actually comparing oneself to Krishna. But because the devotee is so advanced in Krishna consciousness, he is able to behave with Krishna as he would with an ordinary man. When Mother Yashoda saw all the universes within Krishna's mouth, she was astonished for the time being. The Lord is worshipped like Indra and other demigods by the followers of the three Vedas, who offer him sacrifices. He is worshipped as an impersonal Brahman by saintly persons who understand his greatness through studying the Upanishads, and as the Purusha by great philosophers who analytically study the universe, as the all-pervading Supersoul by great yogis, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees. Nevertheless, Mother Yashoda considered the Lord her own son. Purport. This verse is a quotation from 10th Canto. Those who are spiritually advanced forget Krishna's opulence by the mercy of Yoga Maya. For instance, Mother Yashoda considered Krishna an ordinary child. Although Krishna is beyond sense perception and is unmanifest to human beings, he takes up the guise of a human being with a material body. Thus, Mother Yashoda thought him to be her son, and she bound Lord Krishna with rope to a wooden mortar, as if he were an ordinary child. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto is in reference to Lord Krishna exhibiting himself like an ordinary child before Mother Yashoda. He was playing like a naughty boy, stealing butter and breaking butter pots. Mother Yashoda became disturbed and wanted to bind the Lord to a mortar used for pounding spices. In other words, she considered the Supreme Personality of Godhead an ordinary child. So we finish there, and we continue tomorrow evening from text 206. The Lord instructs Rupa Goswami. Chaitanya, Charitamrita, so all of this is spoken by Lord Chaitanya. It is Lord Chaitanya instructing Rupa Goswami. So every verse in this chapter is spoken directly by the Lord. Right? It's amazing. So I'm proud of the purport out of this world. Jai Hari Hari Bol. Oh, thank you very much.
There's more on my box than you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they were shut.
Very short.
They were stocked.
I can't predict it. I think it's short of that. I just came back from that about. Like I went in the electric boat. And, when I was coming in, the wind blew me and I pulled into the quay and I hit the electric stand. You know, the one that charges it. And knocked it over. So it's just dangling there, watching things. Still above the water. I told her about it, he said he'd try and fix it later on. It's sudden, just a gust. I mean, I was going forward with the power anyway, but then the wind caught me and the power. Boom. Because it's bolted, although it's bolted, it's only wood. You can't keep, there would need to be bolts going through, right through, and bolted on the other side. This goes on the screws. Screws are not enough.
The screws are not enough.
Yeah.
In the early days. Yeah. And I'm going to say,
Right.
you see, I had the bins to do. Then I had to use as very liquid. So when I went outside, I was thinking of very liquid. Krishna. Once I have three things, I need to write.
You forget what they do.
So I will take it away.
It's okay. It's okay, don't worry about that. It's now it's kind of, now we kind of make a little like a system. If this will be outside, I will be put there. And after you gradually, if I will be taken into one of these, but I don't know. It's just like.
I have this washing. Oh, it's not actually. I think Krishna consciousness is easier in the sunshine, is that true?
Yeah, it helps.
It helps.
It's not easy, but it helps.
No, yeah, there is very good there. Someone else must have got copies as well because I have mine. I have those in still.
I put the liquid what we have.
Or you filled them.
I filled them, yeah.
But that's not very liquid.